the horror. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. I find it very fitting that this 12th rendition of the pay-per-view formerly known as One Night Stand is subtitled The Horror Show, because it is horribly apparent that the WWE is in desperation mode. With record low ratings for Raw and SmackDown and AEW kicking NXT's ass on Wednesday, they had to do something to get the fans interested again. But these 7 matches, they make it clear that they're scraping the bottom of the barrel to achieve this. Well, not that the matchups themselves are bad. I mean, the Universal Champ against the man who brought him into the WWE in the first place. The WWE Champ defending against the man who takes credit for his rise to the top. Both women's titles on the line with the women's tag champs both involved. 8-time tag champs against their most worthy foes. A legendary luchador against the Monday Night Messiah. Cruz versus MVP. Okay, they can't be all great. But it's the type of matches lined up that horrify me. The WWE title will be contested in a match that hasn't even been announced, technically. The Strowman Express is in the Wyatt family swamp. There's a tables match, which is the most normal stipulation in the whole card, and then the eye for an eye match. I watched the snail crawl across the edge of a straight razor. That was my dream. And this is a nightmare of a pay-per-view. But here are my predictions for the horror show at Extreme Rules. Alright, let's get this out of the way fast, okay? Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. The winner is the one who plucks the opponent's eye out of its socket. I thought we were past the days when shock value was a thing. What was wrong with a hair versus mask match or the like? Anyway, I'm getting the feeling this will be Rey's last match in the WWE, and because I can't see Rollins with an eye patch for the rest of his career, not even Dominic and Kevin Owens can stop him. This will either end in a time limit draw, which I hope, or, most likely, with Seth Rollins the winner and Rey Mysterio going to the Hall of Fame in 2021. United States Championship match. Apollo Crews versus MVP for that shiny new belt, which I like, by the way. The old version was good, but it has been around a long time, hasn't it? Now, while I'm sure Bobby Lashley will be around to make things difficult, I think Crews can handle him. I just cannot see MVP as anything other than a manager, or advocate, or whatever the hell the team's term is called. In any case, much like many U.S. title matches, despite the new belt, I think it'll be the kickoff show match. It'll take more than a new belt to make the secondary title relevant again. But the winner and still champ is Apollo Crews, though I leave it open as it could be by DQ with Lashley interfering and giving Crews the full Billy Jack Haynes. SmackDown Tag Team Championships. New Day defends against Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura in a tables match. Now, when I said that Cesaro and Naki were the most worthy foes, that's not saying a hell of a lot. It appears the Forgotten Sons have been just that, forgotten. And with the Usos still on the mend, they desperately need fresh tag teams on the Blue brand. Now, the match a week and a half ago was excellent, though it ended controversially. Having a match that the Dudley Boys innovated may or may not invigorate the titles, but at least table matches are entertaining. First team to go through a table by efforts of the opponents lose, and said opponents are the champs. While I'd rather not see New Day as champs anymore, I can't see the Swiss-Japanese connection pulling it off. Not yet, anyway. Winners of the New Day. SmackDown Women's title, Bayley against Nikki Cross. Oh, how I wish the former hugger would drop the title, but her choice of opponents this time leaves a great deal to be desired. Oh, believe me, Cross is more than capable of winning matches on her own, but she and Alexa Bliss are just so tight that I'd hate to see a singles title get between them. After all, look what it's been doing to Bayley and Sasha Banks. Cross will make it tough, but it doesn't look like the friendship between Banks and Bayley is ending anytime soon, so losing the title doesn't look like to be in the cards. The winner is Bayley. Raw Women's title, Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Everyone seems so happy to see Asuka carry on the man's legacy after winning the title at Money in the Bank. Pardon. There are those who believe that the Empress of Tomorrow deserves to stay champ for a long time, just like she did in NXT. Now, while I agree with that sentiment, there's just something about the idea of two women owning all the women's gold outside of NXT that really appeals to me. Maybe it's because it will make the fall from the top that much greater in the months to come. It's essentially the female version of the Undisputed Era when you think about it. They crow for a while about being so great, then one by one they lose the titles, and the friendship will finally be over. Sorry, Asuka, but I'm picking Sasha Banks to be the new Raw Women's Champ. Pardon. WWE Championship match, Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. Type of match, still TBD by Ziggs. I mean, I can understand the logic behind this. It's hard to prepare for a match that you have no idea what it will be. It's like when William Regal had that Duchess of Queensberry rule match, which essentially boiled down to one rule: Regal must win. Why, oh why do I fear Ziggs is going to do a similar thing? They're going to have the match, and when he loses or is losing, he'll throw in the stipulation that gives him the overwhelming advantage. Well, doubtful that'll have much effect. If there's one thing Drew is these days, it's adaptable. After all, he quickly adapted from being one of the biggest heels to the biggest face on Raw. Whatever Dolph tosses at him, I'm pretty sure he'll claim or kick it back into his face. That is, unless the stip is that the Claymore kick is illegal. Winner and still champ Drew McIntyre. Finally, the Wyatt Swamp match. Universal Champion Braun Strowman versus Hillbilly Bray Wyatt. After losing to Braun as demented Mr. Rogers, Bray's gone back to his "we're here" motif, only without Harper and Rowan by his side anymore. Strowman says he needs to destroy Wyatt now, or Wyatt will bring out the Fiend again, and no one will be safe. Now, what the rules are specifically, I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's kind of like Last Man Standing, except, sorry, it's the one who remains conscious and escapes the swamp who wins. Not sure why this is non-title. Giving Wyatt another bite at the deep blue belt seems logical until a considerably more capable foe arrives. Anyway, the WWE has had a good track record with pre-recorded matches so far. I hope the streak continues. The winner is Braun Strowman, but bring on the Fiend. Those are my picks. I hate the smell of bad pay-per-views in the morning. Smells like desperation. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. Stay safe, and I'll see you.